I'm so happy that today I have a very young entrepreneur. In fact, I should say engineer turned entrepreneur, Tejaswini P. We'll talk about the surname. Tejaswini, welcome. As you describe yourself, you're a very social person, which I can guess, feel your energy. You love meeting new people, hearing their stories, and for you, age is no bar. So I'm happy that for an older me on this side, you'll be talking to me and hearing my story as well as we talk along. And Tejaswini values people, relationships a lot, and can do anything to spend time. She's extremely sensitive, quick to act on emotions, but she says that it's now changing slowly ever since she got into opening Furbishy. So, welcome, and I'm very curious to know about this change. Is it good, bad, ugly? Let's talk about that. So, welcome to Second Act Podcast.
Thank you, Ashna. Firstly, thank you so much for having me. And I did listen to a few of your podcasts, and I have to say that you're doing an incredible job and inspiring so many people out there to take that leap, follow your inner voice, and work towards your second act. So
Lovely.
yeah.
That's very
And
encouraging. Yeah. So to come to the first thing what you said, that you're being sensitive, you're being super emotional, everything is changing ever since you stepped into the entrepreneurship world. Is it to do with that or something else?
I think it definitely has a lot to do with building Furbishy, because what I say, what I do, how I show up doesn't just impact my life. It impacts beyond just me. Especially when you're building teams, you have this responsibility. People joining Furbishy with the hope that it's going to, the experience here is going to shape their careers. So when you have that kind of responsibility, where when you want to when you have this responsibility of taking the company where you aspire it to be, you have to be a lot more composed, think twice, and make the right call. So I think I'm still working on my composure, trying to be as calm as I can. So yeah, I think it's slowly changing. I'm not there yet, but I will be soon.
So is there anything that's helping you to do so?
I'm not, how people kind of take on these new habits. I'm trying meditation, waking up earlier than usual. I'm not a morning person. My mind races at night. But now I feel like before I step into work, I'd like to have a little bit of my me time, and just that morning calm kind of, put things into perspective, and just helps me see the day very differently compared to how I was seeing it the previous night. So yeah, I think just these few habits and tweaks to my lifestyle here and there is helping me. But yeah, baby steps.
So, but what about, do you believe in being vulnerable and being your authentic self? Or do you think that you need to wear a mask and be your bold self, and also, of course, composing yourself at the same time? But again, this is portraying to be somebody else at that moment when you're not feeling that, So do you believe in being vulnerable and showing up, or do you feel no, that is for my personal side, and that probably at home and at work I'm supposed to be in a different manner?
I think there's a very fine line. You need to find that balance. It's very important, especially when you're interacting with people of different tempers, different patience levels, and you, although you started, although it's my company and I started it, I'm not a know-it-all. I'm learning new things every day, and I'm learning that by interacting with people every day, be it be it as basic as how to communicate with each other to kind of maintain a certain culture. Also, how to treat juniors, how to treat seniors, how to kind of make them feel like they're all equals, and they all have the freedom, the right to put their ideas, put their views forward. It could be an intern, it could be the creative director. So when you're dealing with people with different seniority levels, like I said, it's more than just me. I don't know with what mood they are entering the office. I don't know how their day has started. So I think you have to bring that composure, but also, again, right, like, you don't have to wear a mask. You give your true self, and that's when your work also shows that kind of quality. When you try to be somebody else, that also reflects in your work. And I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I just feel like I just think that you have to be true to your true to what you're bringing to the table in terms of emotions, in terms of knowledge and value. But there can be moment of slip, and that's okay. But you cannot throw a tantrum as and when you like. You have to control your temper, because you're handling 10 different people, and what you show is what consciously or subconsciously they would also pick up, like the team down the line. And you don't want that kind of chaos happening in the company.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
think the same at home, right? Because it's how you feel. You don't have to say everything, but how that energy just impacts everybody else also around us.
Yep.
They say that like gratitude has no language. Similarly, I think our emotions also don't have a particular language, but there is a lot of what did I say? The feel factor around it, and people
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
feel, what's going on. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it also kind of brings the morale of the team, for sure. I mean, it's not easy to show up every day feeling 200%,
Of
but
course. Yeah.
but that is something, I knew I knew what I was signing up for. And there was a brief period soon after I started the company, when something that was happening in my personal life, and my energy levels were low, and I did see that impacting the team's energy. Everything just kind of dulled down. They were actually just resonating my mood. And then I realized that, what happens at home stays at home. And this is something that I took on, and I have to do justice. So um you just got to, I think, like you said, maybe sometimes just wear that happy mask and walk into the office. But yeah, it's not easy, but you have to do it. You have to do what it takes
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
brand.
So, there's no right or wrong answer. It's what really helps you, to establish whatever you need to do at work and at your personal front. And we all have our different tools and techniques that work for us. So I was
Yeah.
just asking you what's working for you. When I was reading about you, I saw that, of course, you're doing this very beautiful concept of curating emotions through furnishing, beautifying small to big spaces, but putting a lot of thought behind it. It's not like literally just like, making a sofa or like, putting drapes around it, but it's the whole curation piece that you do as well for people, especially who have paucity of time. And, with the young
Yeah.
couples and, people who are always in a rush, would really appreciate it. But how did you think about it? I mean, we go to furnishing shops and we go to these, the boutique kind of setups or interior designers. They do spaces for you, of course, but your work seems to be a little bit on a different note of putting the ease, I would say, to doing up. So, how did you think of it?
So honestly, it just came from a very simple thought that every space has a story, and your space is a true reflection of you. I moved out at the age of 17, and I've been on the move ever since. In search of career opportunities, college, lived in multiple cities, multiple countries. I always longed to come back to a beautiful space that I could call home, and most of my life was living out of a suitcase in a hotel room. So, when for someone who's constantly relocating and moving around, I was looking for economical and easy ways to do up my space, to make it feel warm, to make it feel cozy. Um, like even when I was traveling, and I was in New York last year, and I was supposed to be there only for 3 weeks, but I ended up staying there for 5 months. That was during the Delta phase in India, and there was a travel ban. So after a point, that was when I really felt like I was far, far away from home. And I started doing up my hotel room, and you know how small New York hotel rooms are. It's
Of
it's
course.
literally like a matchbox. So I would just go to Target or like a CVS and just find like these whatever was available at the counters. I would just get them and try to just add few things to my study desk, or like a candle to my bathroom, just like a bedside candle or whatever, right? So, and then I started to feel that a lot of people like me relocate in search of opportunities. And, to curate an aesthetic, it requires a fair amount of dedication, time, resources.
Yeah.
And also, you need to kind of have that knack for design. Like I was struggling, when I was in my college days, during my college days, and when I just started work, like soon after college. So that's where the thought came from. I wanted to make interior decor accessible and easy and budget friendly for people for anybody, right? Not just a homeowner. It could be even people living in rented spaces to do up their homes. And today we have, 80% of our clients are living in rented apartments. And when we suggest some solutions, a certain kind of paneling work or a certain kind of a makeover for the living room, the immediate response is, but this is not our own home, and what if we were to move to a different house? So we give them solutions that they can pick up and take to wherever they go, and they're like, okay, we didn't know that. And there's just so much excitement because I think till now there was not too much attention paid to them. People who were doing interiors or people who were selling decor, they were just, I don't know, there's just this sudden excitement I'm starting to phase and get from my clients. They're like, oh my God, we didn't know we could do this. I could have done this 10 years ago. But I'm happy that, I'm starting at least now. So I think those are the small things that really kind of put the whole concept together. And we started Furbishy as a marketplace offering curated combos. We got into home makeovers much later. So when we got into curated combos, again, it was a very, you can just plug and play. And we created combos for every room. We created combos for every style. So if you're looking for a modern Indian living room, we have 10 combos, and it's a combo of 3, it's a combo of 2. So if you're seeing a combo of like, for like 3,000, 4,000 rupees, but you're getting 3 different products from 3 different brands, it's like you physically visiting multiple stores to put all these 3 together. So we are doing that for you. And we went one step ahead by taking the help of interior designers across India to curate these combos. So we are indirectly giving you that, styling service through these combos. And we have shot them in a way. So if you see our product shoots, it's not a simple white background. It's styled in a certain way in a real home. And we did a lifestyle shoot. So people know that when they buy, product ABC, this is how they can style it in this color palette, and this is how their living room can look. And then we started getting inquiries, saying that, hey, I love this living room combo. Can you please see my living room and personalize a combo or curate products for me? And, one became two became three, and we're like, okay, there's a gap in the market. Let's pivot a little and get into the whole idea of home makeovers. And
Nice.
And that's how we are here today.
Beautiful. So you operate out of Chennai, or do you?
Bangalore.
Okay.
Bangalore. Yeah.
So now you stay in Bangalore, because you were born in Chennai, I know, and then you moved to Bangalore now, all baggage.
I moved to Bangalore 7 years ago. Been in and out of Bangalore for a while now. But I've been here now constantly for 3 years. And we've set our operations here. And I think Furbishy HQ is always going to be in Bangalore.
That's lovely. So I also, when I was going through your bio, I think you've had what should I say, a difficult childhood, or a childhood which also taught you a few lessons along the way. So are any of those coming handy now when you're working, when you look back, or the way that you've shaped your life?
Firstly, I don't think I had a very difficult childhood. I think my mother had a very difficult time raising me. So
I take my question. Okay.
But I think I had a reality check about life at a very young age, watching my mother as a single parent power through life, raising 2 daughters, and and daughters like us. I think my sister was still okay compared to me. I definitely gave her a hard time, but just she got married at a very young age. She had me when she was 21. So just kind of, I think a lot of qualities about just how to be strong, how to be independent, how to be resilient, but at the same time, be a giver, do not expect, be compassionate, be mindful of other people's emotions. This was something that, how to be strong and everything is just something that we watched and learned. But all the other qualities, they're just something that, whether I'm 31 or whether I was 10, is just something that she constantly repeated. And today, I am where I am because of those experiences. Like I said, I see all of them as a blessing in disguise. It's, I think, just watching a single parent bring up 2 daughters and just face a very tough society. And, it was a love marriage for her. So it wasn't very easy when she decided to, part ways. So I think seeing all of that kind of laid like the base for us, for me and my sister, at a very young age. I think we just became very dependent. We knew we had a mind of our own at a very young age. I was a rebel. Like, my mom would get calls about me getting suspended every week. I think my 11th and 12th, were the years she still remembers. She even passed a comment the other day that I don't think even the boys would have gotten this many calls as much as I have gotten. So yeah, I think that's where I get my strength, and that's what has laid the foundation in a lot of ways.
So I remember getting too many calls when my son was getting suspended in 11th and 12th. And I used to ask him, see, the thing is that you're bunking school, you're going and sitting right where, just in front of the school gate where the garden is. Why do you first go to school? Because there's no point, because you're any which way, you're not going half the year. In 11th, 12th, hardly kids are going. And then when
Yeah.
you go, you also then bunk and sit right outside. Why do you do that? I mean, go, otherwise bunk somewhere else and go. At least I won't be. So he said, but then
Yeah.
what will I remember of my 11th and 12th standard if I have to do everything? And then
Yeah. It's that cheap thrill that you get.
yeah, like he said, how will I, if I don't get caught, then what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
come on. And then I used to tell his principal, I am not responsible for his bunking. Kindly do not call me. You can keep him with
Yeah.
you. You can, do whatever you want, but like I'm not taking responsibility for this boss. So
And that's eventually what happened, even with my mom. I think the fourth or the fifth time she got a call, she was like, you know what? Suspend her, don't
yeah, this is
suspend her, it
what
doesn't matter. Yeah.
and that's what I remember. That's sweet. Actually, we remember that, right? I mean, what happened? I
Yeah.
can also quote this example. If it wouldn't have happened, then there's nothing to talk about as well.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I still tell her that I think I gave you a very exciting parenthood compared to my sister,
yeah.
because my sister was like this
Mm.
very sweet, quiet student, and I was the exact opposite, just back answering teachers. It's not something I'm very proud of, but I was just that arrogant child.
Right. So this is another question which keeps coming to me, and I want to ask you, is it any different being a female entrepreneur?
Honestly, Archana, I don't think I'm there yet to answer this question. It's too soon for me. Um, I mean, it's been a year, almost. We're gonna turn one in March,
Okay.
and everyone I've met through the journey have only tried to help me in whatever way they can, and even before I started Furbishy,
Okay.
um, working in the garment export industry, it's a male dominated industry, and I think I just got very lucky with the kind of bosses I've had, who just gave me the freedom
Right.
to do what I thought was right, and they were like, it's okay if you were going to make mistakes. We will deal with it when we get there. But I think not everybody gets that free hand, and a lot of men in my life, at different stages, in family, at work, they've only been supportive. So I don't know. I don't know yet. It's been good. It's been great. I think the battles, the struggles, um, I and I come across, they are my own struggles. Um, I have to figure them out because I'm a first time founder.
Right.
But I don't really have anyone to blame for that.
So what made you actually quit your corporate job and do this? What you're doing right now.
Sometimes people expect these clear answers that, okay, when you're quitting this really cushy job, you
Mm.
know what you're doing and you have a very clear plan, and this is where I'm going to be 1 year from now, 3 years from now. I have it all figured out. I have this bank balance that's going to support me for
Right.
however long it can. Honestly, I didn't have any of this. I was still in my, struggling period because I did engineering and then I switched to garments. So it was me starting all over again.
Hmm.
And just when I started doing well, I remember I got my promotion letter, and I called up my family and I said I got promoted and this is my increment, and they were all very happy. And I followed that up with, I want to quit. And they're
Hmm.
like, what?
Hmm.
Who says that? And you just started and you're getting a good pay right now. You
Hmm.
want to live in a different city. This is going to take care of your bills. I had all of that
Right.
to think about. But there was
Right.
just something, there was this inner voice. Sometimes they say your gut feeling is so strong and you
Right.
just cannot explain it. That was that for me. I knew I had to do more. And especially in these corporate setups, it's very layered. You have
Hmm.
different people telling you what to do, people who've been in the company for years, and
Hmm.
you have to give them a turn before you get your turn to do
Right.
things. And this and the fact that I spent 4 years on engineering was already playing in my head, and I was like, I have no time to waste. So
Hmm.
it was always like, okay, I did this. Am I going to do more here? If I'm not, what next? So
Hmm.
that was my thought process for 4 years of my career after I switched. So I just went with my gut, and I was like, you know what, it's okay. If I fail, I have the age and the energy to restart. I've done it once, so I know what it's like to restart again.
Right.
Um, yeah, but if you're going to, you know, fear, if you're going to be scared of failures, then you're always going to hesitate to take that step forward. And I didn't want to hesitate at a very young age. So I just went with my gut. And when you know something so strong in your head, and something that's telling you that there is something more than this, and then you take that leap without a clear plan, everything just organically falls in place. And it did. I mean, I'm here building Furbishy, and even when I started Furbishy, it's not like I knew what I was doing entirely. I had my doubts. I was questioning my decisions. I was like, how much do I know to even do this? Maybe I should work 3 years more. Maybe I should, be exposed to more projects. Maybe I need to do more research. Maybe I need to do a design course. But then there's always going to be a maybe, right? There's no end to learning. Um, you can you can have like 20 years of experience, and there's always something new out there to learn. So I think with that mindset, I just kind of jumped right in, and I'm learning every day, struggling every day, but also enjoying the process every single day.
I just loved what you said because this is the conversation that I'm asked every now and then. And this is exactly what I tell them. I've gone into something I didn't know what I was doing every day. Like I was just telling you before, then it's opening my path. Like you said, that everything comes around once you're open to discover. And I think that's the second act platform, about discovering something which you still haven't, doing something which has a bigger meaning, probably just finding another perspective, which changes
Yeah,
your mindset. It could be just anything. As long as we are open to it, something
yeah,
magical will happen. And yes,
yeah,
I think thanks for bringing that, in fact. And I'm so happy there is somebody like me who speaks like this, because mostly when people come on the podcast, they are seem so sorted, that everything is so
yeah,
and this and you have to
yeah,
have one focus and you just need to do that. And I'm saying, no, but I'm doing multiple things and I want to try multiple things. And what I really
yeah,
would like to do, it will fall on its own, because,
yep,
unless I try, then I'm so glad that you also took the chance and you also took that leap of faith, I think. And a lot of people
yeah,
are not able to do that. But I admire
yeah.
the younger people for that as well, to say, hey, you know what? So what if it doesn't work? Something else will.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you always should keep an open mind, because I think these are thoughts that kind of just creep up on you randomly. You're probably at a dinner having a drink with somebody, and you strike a conversation, and then something that person said would just give you an idea, and that just kind of changes your life. But if you walk into anything with this, I'm not saying tunnel vision is wrong, but I'm just saying when you just kind of like narrow down your options and say that this is the only thing I want to do, I don't know, you're losing out on other opportunities for sure.
Yeah, so I'm so glad, of course, and thanks for sharing that thought. So coming to, of course, what we spoke about, discovering and finding a meaning, and and I call it second act. So to ask you that very sweet question of this podcast. What's your second act?
I think I just started my second act, Archana, or I think it's my third. I don't know, from being an engineer to garments, and now I'm doing home decor. Um, I just started my second act, and I'd really like to see where this goes. I think the like I said, right, the bigger goal for me is not just cater to, property owners and helping them building their dream homes, but also catering to people living in rented apartments, to the younger crowd who are relocating for jobs, to help them build, to help them curate beautiful spaces, beautiful homes that they can come back to after a long day and help them tell their stories through their spaces. So I think that is the bigger part of our goal in
Beautiful.
Furbishy.
So thank you for sharing that. We have a quick rapid fire for you. And these are just some things that, I love to ask because that brings in more, what should I say, more information about you without you knowing about it yourself. Sometimes, these questions make us feel, oh, okay, is this what I
Okay.
really like? This is what I really do. So here goes. And this is just like
Okay.
randomly out of a book, which is my secret book to asking rapid fire. So whichever page opens, that's your luck.
Oh my
So
God.
which year of your life has been most enjoyable?
I have to say the year. I would say 2012, 2013.
Oh, and why?
I think that was when
You were bunking the
that was my
most.
first. That wasn't bunking the most. I actually decided to drop out of engineering, and I was like, I'm done with Delhi. I can't do this anymore. But I met someone really special, and that kind of just changed the next 2 years of my life, and it just flew. So yeah.
Okay. What's the idea of a great evening out?
For me, it's with my girls. It's just a sleepover in a house balcony with a glass of wine and just chatting till like 6 in the morning.
So cool. So what's your idea of success?
Um, Tricky question. It's definitely not. I don't know. I'm stuck. Really stuck because I'm still trying to figure that out. I know that it's not money right now. Um, I mean, we're getting clients, we're getting a lot of projects, but I'm constantly, looking for what next and what more we can do. So I think I'll be able to answer this question 2 years from now, hopefully.
See, I told you there must be some questions which will throw up. So say, yeah, but I never thought about that. So
That's really going to keep me thinking for days now.
great. So train, car, or aeroplane? Sorry?
Car. I love driving. I love road trips.
Okay. When was the last time you treated yourself to something?
I treat myself all the time.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I just think that I don't know if it's a good thing again, but I don't save up much. Okay, I completed a project, I like to celebrate. A client is, sending a beautiful testimonial, I like to celebrate. We close a deal, I like to celebrate. We're hiring, we just hired a new person, I like to celebrate. I think I just love celebrating the smallest moments of life, and that is a treat in itself to me. So
Very
so I
nice.
think, yeah.
That's a nice answer. So, what is that you notice when you look into the mirror?
Okay, I think it's my nose.
Yeah, notice first. I would have said, what is the first thing that you notice when you look in the mirror?
So is that your answer as well? Is that the first thing you notice when you look in the mirror?
No, it's not my nose, definitely. I,
I know
yeah,
it's
that
my nose because I think since a kid, everyone's always told me that I have a big nose. And that's just stuck in my head now. So every day I wake up just hoping that it's going to get smaller. It's stupid, but yeah.
Yeah, and I always wish my nose was a bit longer. So we are never happy
I
with
know.
So, all right.
It's okay.
Thank
I've
you.
started to embrace the imperfections, so it's okay.
That's lovely. So thanks really for being with me. This was a quick one. I know that it's been a long day for you. So thanks. And I hope that you make over many, many homes and lives and touch as many people as you can through your
Thank
creativity.
you so much.
And
Thank you, Rajna. Thank you so much for setting up this medium where people can share their stories. And like you mentioned, if there's anything that we say can impact another person's decision, it's great.
thanks. It's going to cut off, so I'm on like a little bit
Okay, great.
behind.
All right. Bye-bye.